Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe, here in this great hall of justice, are the most powerful forces of good ever assembled.
I'm Batman.
Easy, miss. I've got you.
You've got me! Who's got you?
Dooby-dooby-doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Wonder Woman! Wonder Woman!
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
I'm Conor MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod. I was born in 1518 in the village of Glenfinnan on the shores of Loch Shiel. I am immortal.
I'm Captain Kirk.
I'm a doctor. But probably not the one you expect.
Welcome everyone to this special Geek This Week. This is my Pensacon 2017 experience review, giving my thoughts of this 2017 Pensacon. Had a great time at Pensacon. Another great Pensacon. This was my third year at Pensacon, second year with the VIP pass. I have to say it was overall great. I had little minor things that happened, and it was nothing major, I suppose. I had some little technical hiccups with the video recordings Friday and Saturday, and then I had an issue with my camera that I take pictures of people cosplaying and pictures that I get with celebrities. I was getting ready to pay for photo op and an autograph with Gates McFadden when I got accidentally bumped and I dropped my camera. And after my camera dropped, everything was like in a greenish tint trying to shoot pictures from it. Later, I discovered, thanks to a colleague and friend at work, that he was able to determine that the whole problem is because the camera got switched into night shot mode. And I didn't realize that. But other than all, had a great time at Pensacon. I got to meet everybody that I wanted to this year. I went to 12 different panels this year. Actually, I went to 13. One I wasn't allowed to record. So there's 12 panels that I have that I will be releasing over the next several weeks. And in case you're wondering what those panels are, those are going to be the McFoley panel from Friday, the Butch Patrick, the Walter Koenig panel, for Saturday, the Henry Winkler, the X-Files panel, the Gates McFadden panel, the Doctor Who panel, then the Creature from the Black Lagoon panel, Sunday, the Star Trek Deep Space Nine panel, the DC Universe panel, DC TV Universe panel, excuse me. One I think everybody's going to be happy to know is the Stranger Things panel, and finally the Game of Thrones panel. Like I said, had an overall great time. I got to meet some good people, and that was always nice to do. Now, I will give the little negatives, and they're just minor negatives, and I'm sure the good folks at Pensacon will figure these out and get them, hammered out. The one big thing is the trolley was just so screwy running the routes and its timing, and because the panels were there was only a 30-minute window between panels, you couldn't rely on the trolley to get to events in time, especially from the Bay Center to the Sagert or the Pensacola Little Theater or to the Rex Theater. I found, as personally myself and talking to several other people, it was just easier to walk from the Bay Center to these different locations. I have to say, I walked from the Rex Theater back to the Bay Center, and I did it in about 10 minutes. So, I think that's one of the big things I've heard people complain about was the trolley, the way the trolleys were running. They weren't spread out. There was like two of them were running so close back to back it was almost difficult. So I took the trolley one time. I walked the rest of the time. So that being said, the other annoying thing that drove me nuts, and I thought that they weren't doing this year, but if you go to the second floor to try to get to the east side of the Bay Center on the second floor, you have to go through that stupid tunnel, which has that slanted tilt ceiling. And if you're someone of significant height, I would say any person that's I say 5'8" or higher, that has to be on the right side going down, and that's where the ceiling is slanted at its lowest. You have to crunch your neck, and it is a pain to get up and get across to the other side with that thing, and it just drives me nuts. And I thought that had been resolved when they said they were expanding out to have both, to have it the one big room, but got fooled on that. So that my other big complaint of things. Otherwise, I had a great time, and got to meet just everybody I wanted to meet at this convention. It was just phenomenal that I got to meet Sophie Attridge. I hope I pronounced her last name right. You would know her as Ace, the Seventh Doctor's companion from Doctor Who. I did a dual folder op for the Doctor Who, so because you couldn't take your picture with both of them at the table, so that's the reason why I did that. Brene Auberjotis, and I know I butchered that up. Odo from Deep Space Nine. It was great meeting him. As you can see from this picture, you can see this dual folder op with me and Terry Farrell. I got to talk to him, and I actually mentioned to him that about a month or two ago, I had watched an episode of Wonder Woman that he was in, and we were kind of going over the plot, and he's like, "Yeah, I got away." I was like, "Yeah, you dressed yourself up as Robbie the Robot." So it's kind of fun talking about that and enjoying ourselves. I have to say, getting to meet Sandal Bergman, she was a real sweetheart. I talked to her about a movie she did. It's a late 80s comedy called Stewardess School, and it's a very hilarious movie, but it's never been released on DVD. She also talked about Hell Comes to Frogtown. That's with her and Roddy Piper, and that's a good cult classic movie. It's funny, it's cheesy, but it's good. But nevertheless, I had a good time talking to her. She was really super nice and such, which all the celebrities were super nice. All the celebrities I met were all nice. I don't have anything bad to say whatsoever. Red Brown, he played Captain America in the two 70 TV movies. Actually, a little tidbit of trivia here. He was the second actor to play Captain America live. You see, there was a 40-ish serial of Captain America. And for all you young people out there, and don't get me wrong, I'm young too. So I wasn't born in the 40s, didn't live through the 40s. So I just know this because of my love of the comic book characters. I've found these serials over the years, and I've watched them. And so this is how I know about this Captain America serial that Marvel's licensed out, and it's totally different than the comic book character whatsoever. And I think a lot of people don't know about this serial, and I wish it was available on DVD, but it's never It's never been released on DVD to the best of my knowledge, and if it has been, it's bootleg and it's hard to find. But nevertheless, it starred Dick Purcell. He was the first actor to play Captain America, and it was totally different. The character was not named Steve Rogers. The character was simply named District Attorney Grant Gardner. Wasn't even an artist. Wasn't even in the military. And he didn't even carry a shield. He carried a gun, of all things. But anyway, he was the first actor to play Captain America. But Brett Brown is better known. He played Captain America in the two Captain America movies that were filmed in the 70s. And like I said, that was Captain America, and then Captain America 2, Death Too Soon, which the villain was played by the great late Christopher Lee, which I got to ask Mr. Brown what it was like to work with Christopher Lee. So that was fun to do. Next, Rico Browning. He is the only living actor to have played a classic Universal monster. He did the Gill Man for the underwater scenes in Creature from the Black Lagoon, Revenge of the Creature, and The Creature Walks Among Us. I'm a super fan of that movie. It's my favorite Universal monster movie of all time. And it was just so great to meet him. As you can see, this pictures here. I was just tickled pink to get to meet him, and that was a great experience getting to meet Rico Browning. Attending the panel was extremely fun, and staying to watch the movie. So that was fun. I enjoyed myself doing that and everything. Terry Farrell, I had mentioned her earlier. At the autograph table when I was getting her autograph, I had mentioned one of her earlier movies she did in her career with with Keith Gordon and an actor who's no longer with us, the late, great, and always funny Rodney Dangerfield. And in case you didn't know, the movie I'm talking about is Back to School. She played Keith Gordon's love interest. He was Googling over and finally seals the deal and she becomes his girlfriend. So I had fun talking to her. That was a great blast getting to talk to her. She was Jadzia Dax in Star Trek Deep Space Nine for 6 years. And it was fun listening to her explain the reason why she left the show after its 6th season. Of course, the great Walter Koenig, Ensign Chekhov from Star Trek, the original series. I love Star Trek, love all 5 series in the franchise, the movies. I love everything about Star Trek. My favorite episode in the original series is Mirror Mirror, episode 39. And when I say episode 39, I refer to by production number in the 2nd season. I just love that episode, and it was great. It was great getting to talk to Walter Koenig about that, and attended the panel. Fun guy. I really enjoyed it, and I told my wife I have a bucket list, and my bucket list is to get the autographs of the remaining surviving cast members from the original series on 8x10s, other characters from that episode, and I'm 3/4 of the way there. As you can see here, in 2015, I got Nichelle Nichols' autograph, aka Lieutenant Uhura. Last year, at Fanboy Expo in Knoxville, Tennessee, I was able to get the great William Shatner's autograph. And, of course, as you can see here, I got Walter Koenig's autograph. So I now dislike George Takei's autograph. So I'm 3/4 of the way there, and maybe Pensacon can get Walter Koenig. That would be awesome if they were able to pull that off. I don't know if they would be able to, but hey, it would be sweet if they could. And of course, I had mentioned him earlier, Sylvester McCoy, the 7th Doctor from Doctor Who. He took over the role from Colin Baker, and he would have 2 companions throughout his tenure on TV. And he was the last Doctor on the classic Doctor Who TV series. After 26 seasons, the show went into hiatus, and he was the last Doctor until '96 when they did the TV movie with Fox, which introduced the Eighth Doctor, Paul McGott. So, and it was fun talking to Sylvester McCoy. I specifically asked him, was he happy with the way his doctor went out? And he seemed to be satisfied with the way his doctor's regeneration went. So it was good getting to talk to him. Also, I had talked about earlier, Gates McFadden, very, very nice woman. Very pleasant to talk to her. I talked to her about her Beverly Crusher's relationship with Picard and how they touched back on the romantic tensions between them in the 7th season episode Attached, and how they really didn't truly follow through on that, the producers. So that was fun to do. And then I'm a wrestling fan, and I grew up watching Jake the Snake Roberts. I remember his feud, especially his feud with Macho Man Randy Savage. That was a big feud. I remember when Jake went heel. He also had that feud with Ravishing Rick Rude. Got to talk to him, and it was great to get to meet him. And it's happy to know that he's doing very well in his life, and everything is going good for him. It was also great to meet John Wesley Shipp, the Flash, the only actor to have played 2 versions of the Flash. And that was great talking to him and chatting with him. And I had asked him, and spoilers if you have never watched the Flash, the new Flash TV series on CW, but in the 2nd season episode, when they go to Earth 2, it was a 2-part episode, Barry Allen is captured by the villain Zoom, and Zoom's holding him captive with another man who's in an iron mask. And Barry asks Zoom, "Who is that?" With Zoom replying, "You wouldn't believe me if I told you." Now, I had a theory that it was John Wesley Shipp underneath the mask, but it was his Barry Allen from the CBS Flash series that was aired in 1990. That has been canoned into the multiverse, because if you watch when they're going to Earth 2, you see flashes of different Earths. You see one of Supergirl, and then you see one of the Flash, John Wesley Shipp's Flash. So that's what made me think, oh, great, they're going to do this. Well, it turned out that John Wesley Shipp said that they actually considered putting him back in that suit. So we almost got Barry Allen from the 1990s. Would have been interesting to see. I also got to chat with David Scull. He is a documentarist, and he's famous for doing several documentaries on the Universal Monsters. And it was nice to chat with him and to kind of see if my knowledge was on par with his. And it was very productive. I think I spent about 10, 15 minutes talking to him. And it was very educational. Yeah, he gave me some insight that I didn't have known. And it was great to talk to someone who, is passionate about the films like I am, and to get, some more knowledge, because knowledge is always fun to know. So that was pretty fun to get to meet him, and I really enjoyed that. So the last celebrity that I got done that I was so excited to meet was Henry Winkler, the Fonz from Happy Days. And I've seen him in some other things. He did a movie that was directed by Ron Howard with a great actor who went from comedy to drama and can do just about anything. And I'm referring to Michael Keaton. The movie also starred Shelley Long. It's called Night Shift. It's a really funny movie. Of course, Henry Winkler's done The Water Boy. He was also in Little Nicky. You Don't Mess with the Zohan. Click. He's also was on Royal Pains. He's done just about everything, and it was really great to get to meet him. So as you can see in these pictures that I've just had flashing, I had a great time. So overall, um, I think Pensacon, besides the little quirks, keeps getting better and better, and I can't wait for 2017. They've already announced 4 guests. Paul Blake, who played Greedo in the Star Wars A New Hope, or Star Wars Episode 4, or just plain Star Wars, however you want to call it. And there's no debate because Solo shot first. And, the next guest they announced was Frank Hayes. He is better known for playing Jamie in Doctor Who, the second Doctor's companion. The next guest they announced, and I've met her. I met her in 2015 at I won't even name the convention because it was such a debacle and it gave a bad name to the town, so I won't even mention it. But nevertheless, I got to meet her there, and as you can see from this picture of me with Lita, uh, probably one of the great WWE women superstars, a 4-time WWE Women's Champion. She was I think, one of the first women to use the lucha style of wrestling. So, and then the one that I got so psyched for, I was in my head, I was fanboying out completely, and that is the Incredible Hulk, Lou Ferrigno. Awesome that Pensacon has got him booked for 2018. I had a wish list of celebrities I'd like to see get booked, and he was on that list, and I'm glad that he got that they booked him. I have 4 other ones on my list because 4 people that I'd love for him to get booked. It's not going to happen because 2 of them have retired from doing conventions. That would be Adam West and Burt Ward, or they're not doing that many conventions. The other 2 are Martin Landau and Barbara Bain. I know Martin Landau is really not in good health. In case you're wondering, Martin Landau and Barbara Bain both starred in the TV series Mission Impossible, the first 3 seasons. They also did a British sci-fi series that has a decent following, Space 1999. I love that show. I have all 48 episodes on DVD. So it would be great to see them come to Pensacon, but because of their age, I seriously doubt it. So on my list, I have Colonel Steve Austin. That's right. Lee Majors, the $6 Million Man. Lizzie Wagner. Jamie Summers, the Bionic Woman. And the third one on my list, and if Pensacon pulled getting this guest, I would super freaking go fanboying out. Linda Carter, Wonder Woman. I would freak out. I go totally geeky fanboy out. So, with that being said, I'm going to finish out this video by showing pictures of cosplayers that I took Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take any Sunday because, like I just talked about earlier in the video, with my camera problems. So I want to say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed Pensacon as much as I did, and I'll see you guys in 2018. By the way, I am going to release those panels. I'm going to release them once a week, and I'm going to get them out, and they'll all be out. I think the first one I'll be releasing is the Mick Foley panel. I've pretty much got it ready to almost to go. That will be followed most likely by the most likely followed by the Gates McFadden, then the DC TV universe, and then I'll try to figure out how I'm going to what order I'm going to get the others out. So keep checking back at the channel to check these panels out. I really think you'll enjoy them. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed these pictures of the cosplayers. And if you happen to be one of the cosplayers in these pictures, leave me a message and such. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy it. And don't forget to check back for the Pensacon panels as they're posted.